Hello, beautiful earth signs. We are here to do your update. I'm a psychic medium. For those of you that don't know, newbies are very warm welcome. If you haven't subbed, feel free to join the game. We also cover the astrology and twin flame path, as well as let's have a look at the astrology and the cards that are coming through for mid-May for you guys. Now, we obviously do have quite a few planets retrograde. We also have the connection for you guys, Capricorn. You're having a bit of a break at the moment. You're taking on a new frequency, and that's because currently Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius. So for you guys, to a degree, it's a bit lighter. It's more the Pluto aspects that will be more hitting your sign more so. But at the same time, you may feel that reflectively things are different. Now, we do have Saturn retrograde. We've got Jupiter retrograde. We also have retrograde of Venus in Gemini. So mid-month is where it starts to really heat up. Hi, Antonella. Very warm welcome. Now, with the warm-up of these energies, you're going to find as we move into the eclipse season, we're really tying out karmic cycles. Now, the reason we call it karmic cycles is because every 2.5 years, we basically have a nodal theme that plays out in the collective. And for the last 2.5 years through your sign, the nodes have been there also. So not only has Saturn been in your first house and Pluto, but you've also, for those of you that are Capricorn, and collectively we've had that frequency. We're having a break at the moment with Saturn retrograding into Aquarius, and it's giving us themes about what's going to come up for us in 2021. Now, when I say that, it's very healthy to actually look at common themes. Having Venus retrograde, it doesn't just tap into romance, but I am covering romance here. Hi, and with the romantic aspects, you've got to look at Venus as a whole. It's the food we eat, it's the connections we have, it's the assessment of all of these things. So you may be assessing your diet, which I will be tapping into your health sign. Of your 6th house placement and how it directly relates for Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Now, I have pulled cards and I will connect in the astrology for each zodiac sign separately, but the overall energy that I'm pulling is for you mid-month moving into June where we have the eclipses. So you're coming up with the 3. Now, there could be, I'm seeing, you might be seeing 3s. So with the 3 energy, it can be a lot of external energy, external influences. It can be almost like the third party card. But when we look at third party energy, it's more to do with any challenges, adversity, or aspects that are directly blocking you. They could be coming up in your third eye. Hi, Dale. They could be coming up in the direct, atmosphere of the events that are occurring around you. And it could be an old karmic cycle that's being tied out, but you're spiritually coming to terms with it. So you're being asked with your crowning energy is to be fearless through your endeavors. Now, this will be both with romance, with your career sector, with your finances, even if you are or aren't working. A lot of this is a tying out of cycles. We did have the big conjunction in January, and moving forward with Saturn and Pluto, it's shaking the themes up, but it's changing society to a whole. So it's not a permanent energy, but it is going to be a permanent change nevertheless. So there can be, hi Brisbane, there can be some energies, transformations and changes. Now, past tense frequency is very Venus orientated for you guys, and that particularly will tie in with the Taurian energy. But overall, you sort of got this broad energy, with your elements. There are some reflections back on your past tense love life, past tense love interests. It could be the way you were within connections and romance. And, just all of that really cycling out. Does it resonate with you anymore? Doesn't it? What are you going to do with it? How can you transform it? And it's a shake-up in that department. Now, you're in the upright, so you're looking at it very logically. You're being very rational. You're being very Saturn, very strict with yourself. But it does feel like a very matter-of-fact frequency. You know what you like, you know what you don't like, and it's just coming through loud and clear. Now, something to do with this old energy can be coming back because we've We've got, you know, an elderly woman on the card, but I feel it's more to do with the maturing of this energy and a transformation of this frequency. Also, some of your pastimes that you really enjoyed can be coming back into the forefront and returning in some shape or form. So, for instance, if you were exercising and then it went by the wayside, all of a sudden you could be coming back and really going back to some old ways of being that were maybe very beneficial towards you, but you just let it go. You know, you might have had other things going on, especially with ascension symptoms. We were very 3D, hunter-gatherer mode, etc. Also, when it does come to this person, you know them extremely well. I think you do know that there's going to be a return. It's almost like a return of the Mac. It feels like this person's coming back. And in your heart and your upright, when you're really grounded, I think deep down, for those of you that are single, you do know this as such. Also, the fact that we do have Venus retrograde, there can be within connections things coming up and things that are going to be spoken about. But I do feel more so, this can be very adult, responsible, mature conversations, which is really beautiful to see. Although you're reflecting back on the past, you're really guided to, with the way the card's positioned, to look towards the future. Now, with this, there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's more in a perspective. Use what you had in the past and build upon it as a foundation. So I don't feel everything is going out with the baby water. I do feel it's more utilising some of that old frequency and kind of reapplying it to this as a new venture, a new way of being inside a connection, a new way of you being yourself. You're moving through the energy. You're putting one foot in front of the other. But I do feel some of it, you might have been feeling quite run down, and I do feel as the month progresses, you guys are going to feel more energetic to be able to do some of these tasks. With the reversal of melancholia, it's really, like I said, the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is actually facing towards the future. I do feel any reflection back, you had been in a bit of third eye, you had been in a bit of meditation towards these things. It might have really run you down and upset you, but it does feel like a turning over a new leaf and coming out of that energy. And really focusing on just putting one foot in front of the other and moving towards a more positive outcome. I do feel by the end of the month, you guys are going to have a lot of clarity. Now, the clarity is first going to come from within. Clear thoughts, clear communication, clear dealings, very, very direct, very assured, but I feel it's more your confidence level is coming up. There can also be some aspects, again, in conversations about things that maybe hurt you, things that let you down. But I do feel you're just going to be really direct. There can also be some information that may clear up some confusion. And I do feel it's another person really describing or explaining maybe some of the things that they went through. But you guys, I don't feel you're aware of this. This is a huge sharing and exchanging energy. Your energy, however, is coming through very grounded. So although it might be bad news that's coming from this individual, I feel it's more past tense over it's currently just happened, because you feel very grounded when you're receiving this information. It's not a pleasure to hear it, no, but I do feel because you've actually weathered some storms, I feel as though you guys are more able to process it, potentially support and help. And I do feel they're dealing with an external energy, and this is where this third-party energy is coming from, but it's not necessarily that this person's in a romantic connection. This feels more something that has been dealt with, but it's old residue energy. So it can be a memory, it can be tying up loose ends in a sense of divorces, separations, contracts. It can be maintenance or, children and custodial related issues. It's something like that. So it's the arduous energy connecting in with that, but it's the movement forward of such nevertheless. But I do feel some very private situations had played out for this individual, and it feels like they really do entrust you, similar to a friend, and they're really wanting to communicate some things with you. Now, again, as the month progresses, I do feel pertaining to your career, your romance, and your health, you guys are going to have a bit of insight, but there can be, initially, you may really want to avoid, negative people because the blue energy is coming through. It's very social. So there's a dire need, especially with Venus and Gemini, that you're wanting to become social. You're looking at your day-to-day routine and you're trying to change it up a little bit. With that, the conversations and the communication, I told you, blue, insight's still looking forward, making plans, knowing that this is coming in. And I do feel there is huge movement between now and July. But it's planning, it's implementing. Some of you also may be looking at accommodation, and 2021 is huge for movement. I'll get into that when I have the new moon in Gemini, and I'm going to try and do a joint kind of one with Mark from Intuitive Perceptions. Let's see what this is about. You have tenderness in reverse. It feels more like you might be putting a wall up. You're very loyal to the situation, but you might have to very much put a strong face on and be very patient. It's almost like having to be your own best friend as well as this person's during this process. And it can be a little bit frustrating, but, there is faithfulness here. There is loyalty. I'm also seeing you guys waiting for the right time, in a sense of knowing that all good things come to those who wait. But I don't feel a waiting energy. I feel a lot of planning, a lot of tying up of loose ends. And some of you, again, I just feel this energy of finalising contracts. If you or another person potentially has old energy that needs clearing out, I feel these things are coming up so that these connections spiritually can come upright. But I do feel, hi Louise, I do feel that it's just more needing to wait, trying not to take it personal. I feel more this will be conversations in relation to this. And it's very much tying these things up and still directly planning to move forward. They're wanting to say something else. 1 minute. Okay. What is this tenderness in reverse about? Okay, there's a wealth in the experience. So I don't think you're taking things as personal. I think as this month progresses, there's going to be a lot of insight, clarity, vision, love, passions coming back. But I do feel you guys are just fiercely moving forward. You're very decisive. You really know your self-worth. You're really on your throne. And I feel it's a huge level up. Now, in your career sector, for some reason, I'm picking up this vibration that it's looking really good. Looking really good from a perspective of gaining some insight, gaining some maybe new methods, potentially looking at new business ventures or employment ventures. It feels very positive. And look, it doesn't mean to say the instant gratification scenario is there, but whatever this big dream is that you guys have, it does feel really, really positive. Now, any of the healing that you're doing, it's not all going to get done at once. Also, if you're wondering if this person, how do I place it? If you're in a separation, and you're wondering if this person's going to reconcile with another individual, the answer is no. If you're also feeling that they need to do something in order to heal this, you're needing to have a little bit of faith in yourself, because I do feel the healing overall, they are coming through. They're willing to do the work. Even if you're directly in this connection, they're willing to do the work, providing it is an equal give and take. And I do feel you guys in the past, potentially there wasn't that there. There may have been some hindrance pertaining to finances, either on your side or their side. And I feel this is really leveling up now, but it also was the spiritual aspect of the abundance that was out of alignment. So they're not in their ego as much at this point. It is a process to this, and it doesn't mean to say you have to be completely healed to have forward movement. It's making the plans now, regardless of the weather, consistency in reverse, to actually get the ball rolling with these situations. Now, again, as I mentioned, some of you can be actually working from home in the future, but I'm more feeling it's more so that some of you are actually moving home in the next 3 months, potentially 2021, but it feels this new energy coming through, and it's growth energy. Now, for those of you that are Capricorn, you have the time out card. Now, this can be pertaining to family, and I'm going to look at your chart. Now, for you guys that are Capricorn, like I said, your first house placement, we have Pluto retrograde. So anything that you're wanting to end, it might be coming up now. This can be tying up loose ends, finishing projects at home. Again, home energy and you, I don't feel you guys, prior to all of this going on, had a lot of time there. It would have been work, work, work. But your home domain is incredibly important if your work domain is not balanced. It really falls in your health house. So if your home is stable and you have that niche crowd that is very supportive, it's really going to help you, especially when you're feeling off-centered, connected to work and very run down. You're needing to have a tribe family. So it doesn't have to be a DNA family, but it's going to be very important for you guys to have that support system. Now, health-wise, because it does drop down to a 6, as I mentioned, with Gemini moving through, be cautious. Sometimes in communication there can be crosswires, and with these crosswire energies, your health, don't overdo it. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because the Mercury energy is coming through in your 6th house. We currently have it retrograde in Gemini, which is Venus in Gemini in retrograde. So for you guys, romantically speaking, you might have had to rush after this person quite a bit, or vice versa. And again, it might have been a lot of communication, all talk, no action. And that seems to be really changing. And I feel you spiritually are assessing this. Was it impacting your health? How did that go with you? How do you look at it now versus before? And I feel you're meditating. Even if you're with this direct individual, I just feel you're having a little bit of quiet time to meditate upon what's coming up in your emotions. Because I don't feel that you've been able to really hone in on them, because there has been this coming going. Now, that could have been very separate, linked to work, or it could have been connected in with relationship, a lot of running around, day-to-day duties. That is cycling down and calming down. Also, who you want to be in your life is up for a look. And again, could be something in the past that really hindered you with the 3 energy. I keep feeling third-party energy. Now, it doesn't have to be a romantic connection. It more feels interference, cross wires, hearsay, gossip, what they want versus what you want. And I just feel it's meeting in the middle at this point. But first, I feel you're moving into your intuition and your third eye to decipher between how that feels for you and if this path is correct. Third eye, told you. Okay. What else do I need to see for Capricorn? Okay, now you currently have Juno, which is going to be going direct. Your 7th house is Cancer, but Juno falls in your 10th house. So with your career and your love life, there might have been a juggling act going on. Again, trying to balance both worlds and have the equal give and take might have been problematic. A lot of these relationship-related dynamics are really going to siphon out by the end of this year. And even after Venus retrograde, it's all a huge quality system we're going through in 2020. 2021 is very good for relationships collectively. So, bear with this, guys. It is going to get better. So overall, I do feel when Juno goes direct for you guys, again, your career sector is deeply reflective. And we do currently have it hitting your 2nd house, which really links into the things that you're wanting to have for yourself. It might be your physical financial resources, networking. And again, actually look at what you have in front of you. If you're looking for a job, it's going to connect in with the wider group. So it can be themes of what's coming through. You might be looking at the career sector you want to fall into. Wider group energy is what are the common themes coming through? What's in the market? It also can link in with children. It also can link in with older people that you knew. So, spreading your resumes wide. maybe looking outside the box to initiate a career if you don't have one, but it's a very unique way of doing it. For those of you that are Taurus, you guys have some interesting energy coming up. Now, next month we have the Uranian energy retrograding, so it is going to hit your first house. And it is these, and it will be a sudden change, especially when we do have the eclipse in Cancer. Now, Cancer for you guys falls in your third house of communication, and the Venus energy for you guys is really hitting your second house, which can be your professional resources, your land, your financial value. It can even be your spiritual value of what you hold on to. Very Venus, connected. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, spiritual abundance. I'm hearing now. Unconditional love. A lot of out with the old, in with the new. The reason I'm saying that is because 7 energy is the vibration of finances, it's self-worth. This being your crowning energy, I just feel with you may be really operating very much like the Uranian energy. Like, okay, I just need a change. All of a sudden, you might want a haircut. You might want to change things up. The way you see your partner could directly change. Like I said, this Venus retrograde is not going to be a normal one. It already is very critical in the energy. All the squaring aspects, you tend to find you're looking at it very critique-wise. Is this going to fit my life? Does this look the color of me? Is it my flavor? It's very, even if you want to romanticize it, you'll find that because we've had so much purging since 2017, you're very rational about what you do and don't like. And because it's in Mercury, you're going to speak your truth. So it's a bit like potty mouth, really. You guys may just completely go sour on a situation and really not want it and just wonder why. Just spend some time meditating upon that. I'm going to pull a clarifier. I'll pull a chakra card. Something might feel slightly stifling. Now, it could be a location. You're not loving it. Whatever this is, there can be an old trigger that comes up between now and the end of the month. It might be pertaining to home. Let me see where your home location is, Taurus. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. You need to be independent. If you're sharing with somebody, this is going to irritate you. You're a very independent person. You like things a particular way with that vibration there. There's something to do with your direct environment or the people you're surrounding yourselves with, and something feels off. A bit of healing going on there. And also, feeling a little bit stuck. I do feel this is temporary, though. It's there to aid you. It's there to assist you with making a decision. You could be making a sacrifice for another individual at this point, be it's in a job or it could be in a connection. However it directly relates, it feels either a choice or a direct scenario that you guys are feeling quite stuck. This could even be you tuning into the individual who you're waiting for and, wondering if they're with someone and, if they're not happy with this, why are they there? It feels very matter-of-fact and very logical. What are you needing to look out for? Okay, Juno goes direct at the end of this month. And for you guys, it hits your health zone. It also, so all this reflection over, what you want to do with your diet, what you want to do with your marriages, contracts, partnerships, it actually hits your health zone. And it also, there could have been some things coming up with pets and animals that are nearest and dearest to you. Those things can start clearing up and judgments connected to that energy can come up by the end of the month. You also do tend to find, especially with Pluto retrograde, if any of you guys have lost pets, there's something spiritual that really does happen, and I've noticed this. If you have most recently lost a pet, part of your spiritual path moving forward is asking you to live light, so don't automatically jump in and get a new pet. Sometimes we do to fill that void, but we really need to learn to sit in that energy. It's always very divinely guided. I worked in nursing for 20-something years. And when I was in that field, I would get sometimes very, very difficult clients. And I would not leave until they had transferred over. And it was so strange. By the time that directly occurred, Suddenly new things were happening in my life and that road was open. So you do need to actually understand that those things do happen for a reason. And we do tend to get our ego involved and our spiritual pain body involved and then try and replace that energy. It's very similar to leaving a connection and jumping in. Spiritually speaking, be kind to yourself. Have a little bit of time. There's no rush. Anything that is deserving of you is always going to come back to you. We have really been operating from this very fair-based frequency. If anything has ever meant for you, it's always going to come back. So really hold faith with that. Now, for those of you that are Virgo, and I'm like, okay, what seeds have you guys been planting, Virgo? Somebody planted a seed. Again. Okay, well, if you guys had wanted children, do be careful. Because, between now and June, July, I do feel there's a potential for a baby. I also do feel there's a conversation that's going to happen and it's going to confuse you a little bit. You also really are focused on your health. You could be really shaping up, exercising, going into hermit mode, trying to get yourself back on track and really planting those dream seeds. I'm also seeing you guys by the end of the month with Juno going direct to feel more directly balanced in your yin and yang, which is really beneficial. There also there's huge change, and it's to do with your body, your image, your health. Let's have a look at your zodiac. Yeah. If your career sector has been stagnant, I do feel it is due to the fact that the nodes were in your 11th house. Now, if you've wanted to rejig this, Juno's going to be going direct in your 2nd house, and that's by the 25th of this month. We also have, for you guys, Cancer in your 11th house. So home-based businesses would really, really work well for you guys, or more small group orientated energies, but you empathically will understand. Your finances also can come from family during this eclipse energy. So if there was inheritance or anything to that degree, you may find that can be coming through if you've been waiting for paperwork. What else am I seeing? Okay, in the past also, with the 7th house having Pisces in it, your psychology and your connections are deeply important. You may have felt like people were selling you pipe dreams and people were, selling you pipe dreams, all right. Those wounds, regardless of who, even if you're with somebody now, you are still healing from that energy. It is going to pass. It's just something in your subconscious mind. There's a lot of psychology there. There's a lot of psychological wounds. I feel you guys are really moving through it. You've got the 5 energy there. Your direct foundation you're looking at, you're being very realistic. If your home environment's safe and your foundation's safe and you've got you, things do flow forward. Now, I really am feeling this is very positive for you guys, but just be very mindful of the Pisces placement, because next month we have all year had Black Moon, Lilith and Pisces. So if you're falling into your shadow energy, we also, to help us, have Aries and Chiron, which is coming from the 1st house placement, which means we'll be more strict with ourselves in looking at it from very much your point of view and an external point of view, which is a healthier way to do it. And that's how I did a lot of my healing. And I'm not saying I'm perfectly healed, but it's very much, when I have something coming up, I very much look at it from my point of view, my pain body experience. Yes, at that time I'm a victim, and then I cross over and I pause and I look at it from the external point of view and look at it from all angles. And I do feel you guys are doing this. The power that you guys are taking back is really beautiful. I'm also feeling, I'm hearing a song. I'm getting sex back. Yeah, I'm not shouting that out loud because we don't want no copyright. You're getting your funk on, and I do feel in the next 2 months this is going to be really beautiful for you guys. It just feels this very invigorating, vivacious energy by the end of the month coming through. Any end messages? Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, there is a complete change. You're letting go of the past. You're dealing with the shadow, and you're really moving forward. So I'm finding this to be really, really beautiful. Now, overall, all of you guys of the earth signs, be really positive. Anything that's coming up, especially with love, I feel you're going to be very rational. I also feel with your business ventures, with your passions, and with your health, you're going to become more rational. You're also going to start seeing direct clarity over what's really coming up by the end of the month. I do feel the only snags are connected external, and it can be to external partnerships or previous partnerships. But overall, there's a lot of movement here. There's a lot of potentially even some excitement happening. Stay tuned. I'll be back shortly, and we will give you guys the update for June. Now, I've got one more to do, but I also will be doing regular twin flame updates during the month. So if you haven't subbed, sub. Are there any questions in the house while I'm here before I go on a quick break? I don't know whether you guys are quiet or if the feeds just start. And I'm hoping that because we've got the nodes in Gemini and Sagittarius for 2.5 years, it doesn't act like Mercury retrograde. It probably is going to, because we do have Venus retrograding in Gemini currently, so it is a bit like a Mercury retrograde. Embody it. You need to embody it. So you need to just know. It gets to a point where you're at peace. You reflect back on your journey and you realize that the return of the Mac always came, and you're like, I'll see you soon. And you need to come to a very peaceful, calm space. When you can do that and you continue doing everything that you're doing on your side of the fence, it flows very quickly. And it's very true. There is actually no such thing as divine timing. It's a fixation on a belief that it's going to take a long time. That's why we say divine timing. It's to really test your strength in it, because your ego is telling you this is going to take a long time. My process took a long time. That's even with manifestation, with anything. While we're looking at how long it could take, we look at things 2-3 days. I have to, a bit like getting a bucket, filling it. Yeah, just embody that energy then. Be in happiness about it. Be in a calm vibration about it. Be open. If something comes up, tune out of it. But we have so many different signs in our zodiac. So look, technically speaking, my partner and I'm a Libra, he's a Cancer. I've got rising Cancer, he's got rising Libra. Soul paths are soul paths. You need to look at your nodes as well. But if anything is meant for you, it will always come back. It will always come back. And it is Venus retrograde. So the thing is, starting new relationships now with a person that you don't know isn't the best time during a Venus retrograde. Relaxing back and seeing what comes up is almost a gift from universe, because we actually have some, healing that we go through at that time, and just, moving into the energy of, our self-worth, and that if anything that is ours can never be taken from us. And if someone isn't there, just stay very grounded. It's almost like we do the 30-day no contact rule. Anytime you chase after someone, especially if they've got scared somehow or felt the grass was greener on the other bloody side of the fence, is crazy, because they will come back. You need to actually keep grounded and remember everything you gave that person. And the art of appreciation is letting it go, because then you need to be sitting there thinking what you gave to that person. And while you're sitting back there going like this, okay. And that's how I stayed saying. The things that the person were irritated by you about, they miss that shit. It's crazy. I mean, I cared for many years. I did nursing for many years. And my clients I remembered were the hard work ones, honestly. So even if you were pain, right, they miss that. Just sit quietly. Sit quietly and go, okay, you think the grass is greener on the other side. I'm going to sit here really calm, and I'm going to think about all the great things I did. And you need to go back into that, not Not, oh, you need to show them. No, you did. They had their opportunity. They've walked out that door. Okay, I'm going to sit back here while you think you're all that, right? And really think about what I am. And then as I was sitting there, I was like, and you have to therapize yourself. You have to control yourself. You've got to get to a point you sit there and go, okay, I could cook, clean, I'm independent, I work. Am I missing something? I don't know. But I'm going to sit here. If they feel they've made their mind up, don't make me change your mind. Because I'm not going to be Play-Doh to be mushed about, to be manipulated, or to be a doormat so that I can do everything you want and not have anything on my side either. It's mutual. It's got to be equal give and take, and nobody's perfect, right? So if someone goes, we do go into victim consciousness. So we initially feel very much, oh my gosh, why did that person do that to me? And we automatically go into protective mode, which is chase. If you chase, it kind of makes them think, gosh, you don't have much self-worth. And the crazy thing is they will, if you give them some space, if they do love you, while they're over there pretending everything's great, when they don't hear from you, they're going to go, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Oh my God, they're going to forget me. So it's going to do the polar opposite if you chase. And what you're wanting, if you want a return of the Mac, you sit. You don't move. You don't contact. You sit there and go, you think about that, because the less they hear from you, the more they get scared. And then their true emotional feelings come up. Now, if they don't give a hoot about you, you ain't wanting them back. You want them to feel that vibration to bring the inner truth out, which Venus retrograde is going to be doing that. And if a person has unfinished business, you're better to let them go to finish it so that when they come back, all the slate is clear and they can be with you completely. Does that make sense, Star? But it won't matter what zodiac sign you are. So there's ways to bring it back in. There can also be the laws of attraction, something energetically going on inside you that can be actually making that vibration continuously come to you. And that's where the coaching sessions come in. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick break. Yeah, sometimes crazy. Just keep very fluid. Because honestly, the relativity of time needs to be, you could be extending it by tuning into a date. Especially when it's connected to yourself. You know, if you're reading for another individual, there's less connection of the vibration of, look, you're trying to hone in on it. But you could actually manifest that sooner. So by fixating on the 25th, you could be extending it. You don't want to be doing that. You keep dreaming the 25th. Trust your dream then. 25th can be any year though. I've had premonitions. 25th could be any day of the month. You know, any month. You know what I mean? 25th. Let me check if there's anything major. I don't have all my astrology in front of me. What zodiac sign are they? Karen, what zodiac sign? But Virgo is definitely healing. Trust the process. Well, the sun enters Gemini on the 20th. On the 28th, oh God, it's already heading. I thought it was next month. Mercury's moving into Cancer. This is when it really amps up. Gemini, Venus retrograde in Gemini. Talk, gossip, read your fine print. Don't involve yourself in gossip. Be careful, because communication, be rampant overload of information. Taurus is me, he's Aquarius. Well, they're feeling themselves. They're up in their feels. My daughter's an Aquarian. Aquarian males and females want you to be their friend. Yep. Once burnt, oof, they're as bad as cancers. I'm telling you. I've had many Aquarians in my life, and I have had many Cancerians in my life. So it cracks me up because they're not the most watched videos. I do know my stuff. Tugging all over my energy. Always believe. Yeah, my daughter's stubborn as heck. They're Saturn. They're like a Leo. They're Saturn. They're the boss, right? They know. They know what they know. They see they're great for innovation. They're great for humanity. They'd be awesome lawyers. I mean, mate, you want that one on your side if you're in a pickle. But then they'll do quickest turn as you. If you've picked on someone, they'll tell you straight, oh, what'd you do that for? My daughter tells me straight. I'm like, oh, Lord, I must have been so bad in a previous life. I'm a real patient person, but no wonder my tooth's dying. Okay, anywho, I'm going to come back shortly. I'm going to have a quick break and I'll come back. If you're wanting a booking, you can go to the link below, as well as stay tuned because we are going to be doing regular updates for Twin Flame. I'm getting into a routine and I'm pre-recording a lot of things in the background. I'm getting information videos there for the coaching process. It's going to take me a while, but I am getting my quality systems there. So you will have more content coming to you in the next 2 months. Fingers crossed I can be very organised. It might even get to some point where it'll be weekly videos, but I've got to be very organised for that. So we'll see how we go. I'll be back soon. Most welcome, Karen.